Okay, I think we're up and running. Oh shoot, I didn't even think of the top. It's okay, I have a few things on my mind. What up? I don't even know. We should be getting the new computer tomorrow though, so that's good news, I guess. Hopefully we'll be able to get back into making videos and stuff soon with that. Why can't I move around? I'm struggling. So that'll be a good thing that we're working on, but I do want to respond to Melissa's claim. I don't know if I have everything fully ready. I didn't even write it down, to be honest. About what he said last time, about prayer. That's the thing I want to go into today. I want to talk about that, see if I can maybe answer that. Hopefully, at least I didn't look too much into it. So it'll be probably a full writing if I don't get it correctly on the stream. Hopefully I will, though. Hopefully I see some more people into this chat, too. But basically, welcome in, everybody. I see we're finally connected to YouTube's live stream. Basically, the question was, why pray if God's gonna do his will anyways? Which is a tough question, and now I'm gonna have to try and answer that, even though I don't really have a full answer just yet. Why pray if God's will is gonna be done anyway? Well, first of all, we are told many times to pray fervently without ceasing. Do not stop in prayer. I'm just spinning in circles. What am I doing? So we are obviously told to pray, and we are told prayer is very important, especially for conversion or other things. Oh, shoot. So prayer obviously has purpose. It's very important to pray. But then, well, why not? Why pray if God's will is going to be done anyway? Well, if we're going to assume that God is all-powerful, omniscient, omni-everything, which gets into a whole other thing, but we're going to leave the rest of those debates about that later. If we're going to assume that, then is there not a way where God's going to do his will, but then you ask him something, and then it's equally as good as what he was already going to do, so he just does that instead because you asked through faith? Is that not a possibility? What if faith is a driving factor for some prayers? Not saying that God needs the faith for something to happen, obviously. But what if that faith is the essence of, I don't want to say gives God power, the essence of why, the vehicle that God uses to do stuff. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. What if prayer is the vehicle that God uses to get stuff? I'm going to check my chat, make sure we're fully plugged in here. We're not plugged in on Kick. Let me fix that really quick. But what if, again, faith is the vehicle God uses to do things? Of course, we know not all the time, but what if that is the vehicle? Another thing is, basically they said, last time when I said no, well, then does that mean God's not omniscient? Because why wouldn't he just do the most good possible anyways? But, as I said, if God is all-knowing, then there has to be a scenario, where God does the most good, or does however much good he wanted to equally through your prayer. So he was going to do good either way, but it's just a different way of doing it. Pretty much. I'm going to have to look into his other questions, so I think we're going to have to tab out of the game for a second here. What was that? Just to look. So I know there was more questions. And then I can go into Deuteronomy and Numbers, which is the thing I brought up, which it was, as they said, a contradiction, which I kind of dug myself in a hole there, but I was just trying to figure something out. My brain couldn't think. It's kind of hard to think when, you know, you got multiple questions coming at you at once. Okay, it's God's will for you to pray to carry out God's will. Okay, we already answered this, so I don't really have to go over that again. If it's not God's will, though, then it's pointless. True. If you pray something, and it's against God's plan, I believe he's not going to do it. Of course, maybe he will, and he will allow it. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I'm not God. But I believe he's not going to let it happen. Especially if it's something evil, because God is not going to do evil. And then, was God going to do the thing if I didn't pray for it? I believe it would be different. I believe that God would do something different, but it would be equally as good as whatever you prayed for if you didn't pray for it. And then they said, well, God doesn't change his mind according to Exodus, which is Numbers. I looked that up. For God is not a man that he should change his mind. I looked it up. I'm pretty sure that's from the false prophet Baal, or Balaam, or whatever. I don't really know. I looked it up. And the Hebrew says to be sorry. It has no indication of changing his mind. It says to take pity on, to... So, my reading from the Hebrew is that God is taking pity on them. He feels sorry for them, so he's like, sure, I'll give them another chance. And this goes back to my original point. What was that? If prayer truly doesn't matter, then why would Moses, talking to God and trying to be like, hey, God, I'm going to talk to you, which is prayer, about, can we just give them a chance? Give them a chance. It'll be okay. Give them a chance. Is pretty much what he's saying. And God's like, okay, fine. I'll take pity on them. They'll have a chance, which is basically to repent. Of course, they still fail that chance. But Moses is talking to God. Moses' prayer allowed the Israelites to have a chance. Prayer matters. It just goes back to my original point. And what the numbers things means is the fact that God is not going to go back on his promises. He's not going to tell you something and then not do it. He's not going to change his mind. But it also means that if God decides that you are unworthy, of course this is Old Covenant, if God decides that enough is enough, he's going to slaughter you, then enough is enough, he's not changing his mind. Of course, unless you repent, we have the verse of that. So, if God's done giving you chances, he's done giving you chances. If God's giving you a promise, he's going to make that promise be fulfilled. Of course, we don't live under Old Covenant, but that still applies today, so it's not exclusively Old Covenant. It just depends on the way it's applied. Welcome in, Surplus, by the way. I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to get through Mullis's thing that he brought up yesterday. Yeah, and he relents. Can't relent without changing your mind about something. He takes pity on them. That's what the Hebrew means. He gives them pity. He gives them a chance. Which you could still say is changing his mind, but that's, I believe, a stretch. But, I mean, if that's how you want to take it, sure. Plus, to put God in a box to say he can't change his mind is also really dumb, in my opinion. To say that God can't think through things because he's God also just doesn't make sense in my opinion. If we're made in the image of God, we also think through things rationally. I believe that's a God-given gift. I believe God will also be able to think through things. I mean, he's eternal.
He's eternal.
I forgot this thing does this. Get in there. He's eternal. So you would assume, oh, well, God's gonna know everything. He's not gonna have to reason through anything. But that's not how eternality would... Well, I don't know how eternality would work. I'm not gonna make, like, a plane like that. I keep forgetting and I keep trying to move it. In there. Dang. So I'm not gonna make a claim like... I'm cooked. I'm not gonna make a claim like that. Welcome in, newbie. I'm not gonna say that that's not how God's eternality works, but if we're going to assume, even with eternality, you have to... how do I work this? Because eternality and time is a crazy topic. Dang. He's coming to kill me. I believe God would still have to work things out. Even being eternal, he's gonna have to think through things. I believe, at least. That's a personal belief. I have nothing to back that claim up. But I believe God can think through things. He can reason through things. He's like, okay, well, that makes sense. I'm gonna do what makes the most sense. This kind of goes to open theism a little bit. I'm pretty sure that's what open theism is. Where God can look down one possible future at a time, and then through that make decisions. That could be a thing. I don't know. I haven't looked enough into that, so don't take any of what I'm saying right now as truth. But just spitballing here. There's options. There's a way to disprove that. I'm glad Mullis brought up these questions. I'm also glad I was able to look through them. It gave me a good few insights to be able to think about stuff like this. There's still going to be some disagreements like, oh, well, if God was omniscient, God was, you know? But ultimately, that I feel like is the answer. Why'd you fall out the second I got out?
Well,
Eat in there. Welcome in, Jay and Cam Games. What's good?
good.
Sorry, I haven't been in your live streams because of school. No, that's all fine. Oh my god. I'm gonna hate this thing. I spent the entirety of yesterday doing schoolwork. I almost didn't stream because I forgot and I was asleep because I spent all night doing work. And I forgot there was a stream today, but I made it. Even if it's a little bit late. We're gonna try and make this back to the thing. But yeah, I was trying to answer that question from Mollusk, which was from a few days ago. I said I'd answered it, and I actually went over it with my Bible study preacher, evangelist, whatever you want to call them. They're my main, I'd say, mentor. We hang out, talk about stuff. So we kind of went through that together, and they helped show me give me answers, and it helped formulate my opinion here to get through it all. Which, again, if you have questions, you can always ask me. I'll try to my best of my capabilities, but there's always going to be someone more knowledgeable than I am, for sure. So, like, ask a pastor, a priest, whatever, really. Because, oh, thank you for the follow. Cam Games, thank you for the follow. Yeah. I saw your message. I just didn't alert. But yeah, thank you. So always ask someone more knowledgeable than me if I can't answer something, I would say. I mean, either way, you should be asking them questions rather than me, but if it's easier to talk to me, then it's easier to talk to me. Is this repo? It is. You're the most XP? Let's go, newbie. You are here a lot. Okay. Let me get out of here. Oh, boy. Get me away from there. Yeah, this is repo. I'm going through some topics. Okay, so that was the philosophical topic that was brought up by Mollusk. Or, not philosophical, but a topic. I feel like I've answered it well. I know there's probably going to be some disagreements. I'll probably try to put it in writing later. But, we'll see. Could I play Poppy Playtime? Isn't it not free? I feel like I'd have to buy that. I don't got much money. I can see, though. I feel like Poppy Playtime would... Okay, the first one's free. The rest one... Wow, $20 per? Dang. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but wow. Yeah, I don't got that much money. If I start making money, sure. Right now, I make nothing. I do not have monetization just yet. Ooh. So, we'll get there, though. And I probably will. I've seen a lot of people play it. It's a really good game. I don't know how much I'd like it, but we'd have to find out. Why are you playing with? I mean, who am I playing with? Why am I... I'm confused. I'm playing with mods. I'm not playing with anybody, though. I'm alone right now. It is a public game, though, so... If anybody wanted to get Thunderstore, download the mods on their computer, and join me, that is always an option. Do I have enough for I hope I have enough for this. Please, God, make this YouTuber famous. That's the hope. I feel like it's gonna happen... Oh, shoot, I don't have enough. I feel like it's gonna happen when I start making videos. That's my belief. It's just, I gotta get my computer fixed. Luckily, it's getting fixed tomorrow. What do I want to get rid of? Get out of here, stamina. So, hopefully, where do I find the mods? I can give them to you in the Discord if you really want the mods. You have to join the Discord, though. That's the prerequisite for pretty much anything. You want to join the server, the Minecraft server, which is broken right now, Discord. If you want to join me, I'd say you'd have to join the Discord. You want to talk to me, have to join the Discord. Another thing, you'll join up, bet. Another thing to, I don't really know how to start this conversation. I don't want to, I don't really want to stir up the community. Am I in high school or college? I am about to graduate very soon. Very, very soon. I am in high school. But yeah. There's a very serious topic. I don't even feel like I'm the person that's supposed to talk about this, but they messaged me. I don't want to stir up the community. I don't want to say things. Oh, I got a message. Oh, you're in here. What's up? Christos is here. Psalm 145:17. Psalm chapter 145, verse 17 through 18. The Lord is just in all his ways and kind in all his doings. The Lord is near to who call upon him, to all who call upon him, to all who call upon him in truth. I said that a few times. You want to be an admin or mod? I mean, if you come around enough, I think that's fine. Christos, Glory to God Gaming, you want to come up here? I mean, it says you requested to speak. You want me to get you up here? Yeah, there's something that happened that was serious in the Discord recently. I don't even really know how to bring it up. I don't want to stir up the community, but it is important. I'm gonna wait till it's confirmed before I say anything. But I feel like it's true, so I'm gonna try and back away from it. But if it's still the same in a week, then I'm gonna have to at least me cover it or get, who's it called? Get, up to you, brother. I can bring you up here, why not? Or I'll get Xander to bring it up, because I'm not the person to talk about topics like that. How much money is repo? I think it's like 10. Yeah, let me invite you up here. Get you up here. Invite to speak. There we go. Yeah, true. How much? I'm pretty sure it's 10. I can look it up. I'm pretty sure repo's 10. Repo. Oh, right now it's 7. Yeah, it's usually 10. It's on sale. It's on Steam. You have to get it on computer if you would want to play modded. Welcome up here. Yeah, it's on sale right now. Hello. It's been a while, man. A while. You been up to? Yeah, what you been up to? You been busy? True. Makes sense. Feel like same thing with me. Just stuff going on. I don't know how my computer's broke, but it still allows for me to stream, but I'll take it. Very good thing. But yeah, I should be getting a better computer actually tomorrow. The stuff should be coming in. I hope it doesn't get delayed. So, I should be able to make videos and stuff pretty soon and just do a lot more stuff with streams and all that, really. Man, computer parts have gotten expensive though. My goodness. Yeah, SSDs went up like a ton too. Luckily, I didn't have to buy those, but wow. I just have to hope the SSD and the RAM from my computer work well enough and survive for a few years, which is a big ask, but hopefully. You gotta go. Hope to see you later, JCam. God bless you and your family. Let's see. You're too broke for that? It... I don't... Depends on what you mean by concerned. Because obviously it's a concerning thing, but it's not for other people. It's mainly for the person. It's... Yeah, it's a topic. I can definitely DM it to you. Because I talked about it with Xander. It's just I haven't heard from them, and it's not great. Yeah, I'll DM it after stream, because... Yeah, I don't know how to go about talking about that in the slightest, really. It's a topic. Usually we've just been talking about biblical topics. Oh, I got shot. We've been usually talking about biblical topics. Mullis came in here, they gave me a question, and I said I was going to answer it probably next stream, and that's what I was doing earlier. It was a good question, though. It was... I don't know if you heard it. Let me see if I can bring it up. Basically, I can bring up everything he said. The first thing... This is about prayer. It's God's will either way, so it seems pointless. Basically, prayer is just God do whatever you were going to do anyways. The next thing he said is, if you pray for something that's not God's will, then it will never happen, right? And then he said, but Jesus said pray for anything in his name and he will do it. Which... And then, it's God's will for you to pray for God to carry out his will. If it's not God's will, though, then it's pointless. Was God going to do the thing if you didn't pray for it? Just a ton of those different questions. It was also a little bit of a trap, which is why I kind of waited. Because I kind of dug myself in a hole trying to answer it, which is why I waited to get a better response. And then he says, God doesn't change his mind according to Exodus. And then he says, in Numbers, he relents. So it was just a whole loaded thing, because these were like pretty much back-to-back messages. Welcome in, Zane. Hope you're doing well. think another thing, someone in the chat brought this up as he was saying it too, is that it assumes that prayer is only asking for things. Prayer is only treating God like a vending machine. Because, oh, well, God, if I ask you for this, you're going to do your will anyways. If I ask you for this or this or this. When sure, guidance is a part of that, but you shouldn't be treating God like a vending machine. Which someone in the chat brought that up, which was really cool. Yep. Best prayer to pray when you don't have just words is to pray the prayers that he's given you. Amen. Wow, we got a lot of people coming in the chat now. Wow. Right as you came in here. Welcome in, Godzilla. Slave of Adonai, Elijah. I have not. Good thing. I'm going to pray right now. Everybody else, just take a moment, mute the stream if you have to. Pray with me. Just over things in your life, whatever you have going on. I'm going to pray. I'll be right back. Amen. Ooh. People in the chat are fighting about something now. What's going on? Who wins, the mother of galaxies or Jesus? And someone said Jesus. And then they said, what do you mean? Jesus. It's the mother of galaxies. Jesus didn't even make a planet. And then someone's... What do you mean he didn't make a planet? He made everything, not just the planets. What are we talking about? Before Abraham was, I am. That's what Jesus said. He was there in the beginning. Who is the mother of the galaxies, by the way? What are you basing that off of? What religion are we talking about? Are we just making something up? Yeah, I mean, they brought up Kratos versus Jesus last time, like a few streams ago. So, I just don't know what that's based off of. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about that. It was very interesting. Oh. You mean 1,000 people? We are technically monkeys through evolution. Oh, okay. I wonder. I don't want to... Okay, wait, is this wrong to say? Wait. I want... You know, I'm gonna say it just to say it, but... Of course he allowed it, but he was put on a cross. True. True. I was like, is this really okay to say? But no. But no, he allowed those people to take him on that cross. He allowed that to happen. Just wanted to put it out there. Just for whatever reason I get. Oh, this guy's gonna kill me. No! The one who saved us all. Why can we hear the other guy? He's in the Discord with us. Anybody who's in the Discord in the stage that we're in can talk if I let them up here. It means the Lord is greater. Really? I'm gonna look that up because I feel like that says something else. Of course it says Yahweh. But I'm just a little bit concerned about the last part. Because I know another group of people that say that. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. So it does just mean Jesus is greater, or the Lord is greater. It feels a bit weird saying that, though. I don't know. It's a bit odd for me personally. But it is true. I can just say the Lord is greater, though. I don't really have to say, like, that, to be fair. You can name people stronger than Jesus? Alright, go ahead. I'll wait. Just the silence of waiting. But, what else do we have? Oh, wait. The person before said who is stronger than Jesus, and they said I can name plenty. That's why that came up. Okay. Ooh, a challenging Bible verse? Well, what do we want to say is a challenging Bible verse, first of all? Ooh. Well, there's a lot of those, to be fair, but I have to look and see which one of those would be on my mind. I'm going to have to open the book of Luke really quick to look through. I think one interesting one is the fact that people that Jesus healed, one of them went up to him and he was like, Jesus, let me follow you. And instead, he's like, no, go proclaim the gospel in this city and do not follow me. I think that one's interesting. It doesn't really apply in the way that you're meaning. But it's interesting because you'd usually think that, oh, well, Jesus wanted everybody to follow him. He'd ask people and then they'd never come. But this one person, he's like, let me follow you. He's like, no, go proclaim what I've done for you. And that's really interesting to me. That's one that I was thinking about. I was like, wow. He's told this person to go leave him and go do his will, but in the city. Instead of... I guess that is technically following him, though. To be fair. Did what he said to do. Oh, he put a whole list. These are all from fiction, by the way. Just to point this out. The Galaxy Devourer. The Mother of the Galaxies. Thrag from Invincible. Who is that? Galactus. Cthulhu. And then he just brings up the people from Godzilla, like the kaijus. So we're saying God is not as strong as Godzilla. God could not smite Godzilla and kill him. It's just not a possibility, apparently. Ghidorah is a creature that originated from space. Oh, well. I'm just very fiction illiterate then, I guess. I live under a rock, and it's a very heavy one. But I also live on top of one. It's called the Foundation of Jesus. Came up with that on the spot through the Holy Spirit. Take no credit. None. Exactly. Oh, I don't have enough to buy this. You would know if you watched or read Godzilla. You would know if you watched or read the Bible. Boom. But for real though, we're saying God, who made everything. I mean, unless you want to say that Jesus isn't God, which I guess is a better argument. It's not true, but you could say that for the purpose of saying that these guys are stronger, but like, I don't really get it, because if we're gonna assume that Jesus is God, then Jesus can just do what he wants. Godzilla just erased from existence. He never existed to begin with. Also, space, racers, laser can cut solid everything. I'm a bit confused, but okay. To be fair, they're just kind of here to chat though, because the last stream I was telling them about stuff and they just kind of didn't listen, and then they just started talking in the chat about random stuff. So they're just kind of here to be here, I guess. Jesus can't create stuff that originated before him. What does that mean? Is the 8-second delay purposeful? It's just how streams work. Every stream has some sort of delay because it takes some time to like send the stuff, and it's just a little bit of a process with streaming. I think it's actually harder to like send it instantly, or maybe even impossible. You're back? Welcome in Jan Cam Games. I thought you were gone for good. Welcome back. But what do you mean Jesus can't create stuff that originated before him? Jesus is the great I am, the one before Abraham. He's before everything. What do you mean? What are we talking about here? I am very lost. Open the fridge door. Oh shoot, I gotta go back for the fridge. I can actually stream. Hold up, I got you. I'm gonna do this so that people can watch the stream, but live. Am I lagging now? What's going on? Okay, there we go. Mother of Galaxies is over 100 million trillion quintillion years old. Jesus is eternal. He doesn't have a time, age, or date. Jesus is infinitely older than Mother of the Galaxies. This just feels like a power scaling thing. Like Jesus versus whoever. Jesus, infinite. Mother of the Galaxies, 100 quintillion million years old. This feels like a power scaling video. Dang, he just sends an angel like Gabriel on him or something. No, he isn't, because Mother of the Galaxies made the galaxy we're in. Okay, where is this based from? Where are we getting this knowledge? Yeah, just from, like, the Greeks. Ah, yes, Zeus. He definitely beats Jesus. He's so strong and powerful, even though our God commands more than just thunder, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm very confused. Open the fridge door. I didn't see the fridge. I went back too, and then I completely forgot to look. I just didn't see one. Ooh. Oh, it's gonna explode. No, he isn't. Yeah, so if you're gonna say that Mother of the Galaxies made the galaxy that we live in, you then have to assume that Mother of the Galaxies is a real thing. They're atheists, I'm pretty sure. I don't know much more than that. I tried to convince them of the gospel and they just ignored me. So. I mean, naturally, we have Clem Bob. He's like, I'm not the natural definition of atheist. I believe so-and-so. Nanology says, Jesus drowned babies. Praise be. Oh. Okay. Yep, Rage Baiter. Their next message was, worse. Wow. Ooh. I feel like I was possessed at one point. Like, if I'm being for real. Because one time, like, people, I don't remember why, but they had convinced someone at my house to, like, pretty much cleanse or exorcise the house, whatever you really want to call it. And I was there, and I started freaking out. Like, I actually got upset, and started, like, yelling and stuff. And I still look back on that, I'm like, wow. I got, like, unreasonably upset at that. Okay. Yeah. That was when I was in, like, the witchcraft and all that extra stuff. Yeah. Godzilla said they're not atheists, they're just stating facts. Okay. Okay. Nanology, if you're really gonna make those claims, give me the Bible verses. If we're really gonna go down this rabbit hole, give me the verses instead of just stating them. Absolutely crazy things to say too, but some might be in context, others might not. We're just gonna get a pretty interesting. Oh, whoa! I got a beatbox. Get in there. Why are the Minecraft mods saying the mods are incompatible? Oh, it's not Minecraft. I'm playing REPO. If you want me to send you the REPO mods, I can. If you want to join me. If you, like... Ooh, if you can. This thing's messing with me, and it's really annoying. But yeah. Very good conversations, by the way. Very good conversations. Did you see what I... What was that? Did you see what I talked about in the debate channel with Clint Bob? Like, recently? Yeah, I think everyone had that. I think everyone had that. Debates are usually fun. That was frustrating. Highly frustrating. I just got upset and frustrated, so I just kind of gave up on it. We were talking past each other pretty much the whole time. And I tried to end it, and he's like, oh, I know what we're debating about now. I'm like, no, we're not debating about anything. Very smart, though, but also, man. I said to someone they'd make a great warrior for the kingdom of heaven if they were to ever convert. You're the guy on the stage? Ah, cool. Yeah, that's why I created the stream, so you could actually watch while, like, live. Your Discord. Can you? Yeah, I can send it. Jesus can't even beat a 141,000 ton Void Ghidorah. So what's he gonna do about space racers? Why are we just making claims we know nothing about? Just bold-faced too, no care in the world. I'm right and no evidence shall sway me. Atheism. I posted the mods in the chat right now. I'll send them to you directly in DMs. It stated that Ghidorah is 141,000 tons. Why does that matter, though? Oh, hi, friend. Jesus wins. Just that simple. Just that easy. Yeah, the person left when I told them to state Bible verses. They were saying some wild stuff, wow. Of course, I believe some of those might be based on verses, but definitely not all of those. Exactly. And I'm sure some of those, the ones that we're bringing up, have context to them. So I'm not even gonna, like... Have I watched Pennywise? I have not. I was really young when that came out, I'm pretty sure. I was terrified of that clown. I watched, like, those little skit videos of Pennywise or whatever after it came out. I was still terrified. I never saw Sewers the Same. Never. Always looking down those little, like, drain things. Like, is he down there? Where is he? He's gotta be there. Watch it? I'm okay. Horror's not, like, my best thing, I'd say. I've watched a few of them, but it's not that scary. It's just not really my thing, to be fair. What's something else we can get into here? But yeah, are you reading the things right now? Because I forgot I brought that up. You can read what I did with Clem. I can send you the link of where it starts, because it's only like a few 5-ish messages. He started one for notes for Gospel Floss. He was absolutely indignant that he sent him a book. I don't even know if I used that word right, but... Gospel Floss sent him a book on, like, Christianity and stuff, and he was absolutely upset. And he said, this was so rude, and he used, like, 50 big words, saying how disappointed he was in this person sending a book. And then he wrote notes on every single chapter, and posted in a thread. Yeah. But not the Bible. Anyways. What am I meant to do with these characters? Go to Thunderstore and install it. That'll be the first thing. But yeah. He's like, how dare you send me a book, but I'm gonna write over the entire book and give you feedback. Very interesting, I guess. I mean, I was even trying to end the debate. I literally said, my point is clear. We're not gonna get anywhere. And he's like, oh, I know what you're debating about now. Like, are we serious? Are we serious? Like, not to be mean in any way, but like, man, I don't want to debate anymore. That's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Yeah, Godzilla's still going off about Godzilla. Whatever floats your boat. Dang. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was exactly about to say. I was like, do I say it? Oh, there's like nothing here. Welcome in, Quartz. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, church music. What kind? Are we talking about Catholic, Protestant? Oh. It's not my fault. Godzilla. I don't know why I read that as God. Godzilla killed eldritch horrors. Our Jesus defeated death. Death is dead. I think that's an eldritch horror. I think that counts. Alright, yeah, Thunderstorm's installed. Okay, Thunderstore. After you get Thunderstore, you should go to the game repo. Oh, is that thing about to kill me? Go to the game repo. Click import. Import by code. And then you can just, put the code in. You can join in there. Sacraments. Well, there's also a lot of those. So, just in general. graces in which he comes through to me? What do you mean by that? So how do I feel about it, or what do I think about it? Hmm. Well, if we're gonna say baptism, baptism's really good. It is the traditional view, so that's... Well, traditional Protestant view, I should say. Because that's the way I was baptized. That's the way I understand it, at least. Because I know Catholicism believes it is salvific. So, the Protestant view is it's not. It is a symbolic outward profession that the Holy Spirit is inside you. Rather, baptism in the Catholic view is that the Holy Spirit, that is the way the Holy Spirit comes inside of you, I'm pretty sure, or I don't really know what wordage I'm trying to use here. I'm pretty sure not. Did you... Didn't you go to a Protestant church, though? So did they teach something different? Yeah. Like, teaching about baptism. Because... Oh, okay. Which one is that? Yeah, because now it is... It is Eucharist, but not in the same way. Plus, they aren't ordained as priests as in the Catholic view, so it doesn't really matter either way if they did or not. That is true. I don't remember what the exact... I'm pretty sure the teaching is that baptism is the symbolic, like, representation of you gaining the Holy Spirit, or... Of course, if anyone in chat knows, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it is. It is the outward profession of your faith through public baptism, showing that you have the Spirit. I think that's, like, pretty much the whole thing. Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. See, you got it. Mm-hmm. I also saw it was a Catholic priest. I'm pretty sure this is the general Catholic view. It was about infant baptism, which I know is a topic that a lot of people get into. About how they were saying that this baptism doesn't matter unless the child comes to know God and follows God. Which I feel like Protestantism doesn't talk about. Like, they usually say, oh, well, it saves them automatically if they get baptized as an infant. I feel like that's the one I've heard from at least Protestants talking about Catholicism. So I don't know if that's wrong or if that's right, or Do I like Jewish people? The people, yes. The religion, no. Simple as that. I learned some stuff about Jewish people and their teachings about Jesus a few months ago, and that was terrible. Have you heard it? About, like, burning, yeah. It's not, yeah. So yeah, definitely don't agree with the religion. I have no words for that, really. The religion is really twisted. Did I read the Ketubot from the Talmud? No, I have not. I have only read the Bible and the Bible alone. That is my focus, because I still have a lot to learn from the Bible itself. So, that's the main focus. But, no, it's fine. I just wanted to say that if you wanted to hear what I said about, like, Mullis's question earlier, then you can listen back on the stream earlier from when I started. Because I answered that full thing. You can say what you're saying now. I've been interrupting you. Welcome in, Blake Richard. You're gonna get canceled, man. It's over for you. That's not very Christ-like, getting canceled. Actually, it is very Christ-like to be canceled. Ooh. Well, maybe we should be quiet. Yep. What's the verse about, like, the wise man always says, I know, but... Or, like... I don't know. It's... Oh, you sent it? Let me accept it. It's something about how the... I don't know. I can't word anymore. Yeah. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Ooh. Yeah, because it was about how... I think the fool or something always has an answer, always speaks, while the wise man holds his tongue. I don't think it's the Proverbs, but it does apply. But it was a different verse, and I saw it recently. I don't remember. Oh, wait, it was my Bible study teacher. Hold up, I can pull up the message. I'll find it. Let's see. 1 Corinthians 1:25, is that it? 1 Corinthians 1:25? Question mark? Nope. That is still a good verse, though. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25 states, For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Bang! Ooh. Yeah, it's mollusk. I talked about that with him, too. I was like, hey. Oh, I forgot it. Why? Oh, I remember. Why are we trying to understand why God does things? Why are we like, oh, God did this in my life. I wonder why. I'm going to think through it. You're never going to get an answer. You're never going to know why God did this or why God did that. But you are going to get a million possibilities that you're going to worry through for hours on end. That's what I talked about. Or at least said. Because it's very true. Of course, I am an overthinker for sure. And a worrier at that, but... just thinking about that. I am never gonna understand, so why am I even trying? Weakness of God cannot even exist. Are we gonna put God in a box and say it can't exist? Everybody wants to limit God. It was the Jewish person. Yeah, because they were talking about, like, the, like, do I like Jewish people? That was my day. It's been, alright. Some other stuff happened, though, but... Did I read any other holy books other than the Bible? Well, that assumes there are other holy books. You may hold other holy books. Doesn't mean I hold other holy books. Yeah. Got him. Nah, God had a good one. For real. That was close. You know what I mean. I have not, though. As I said, I'm focusing on Christianity first, and Christianity alone, because I still have a lot to learn in that regard. And I've been doing this for a while by now, too. I'm still learning more stuff. That's just how the Bible is, though. They said they're not Jewish. They said they meant the books like the Torah and the Quran. The Torah is in the Bible. What about the Christos and Esti guy was talking about with the Jewish faith not being the same? It's like God's people, to where we are now, God's people are not the modern Jewish people. That was hard to read and hard to understand. Like, not even being mean, I'm just very confused. Did you understand it? What they were asking? Yeah, I'm not even trying to be mean or rude. I just don't understand. The Bible talks about God's people, so we're saying the Israelites are God's people, the Jewish people are God's people. Is that what we're saying? How did you become a Christian? Were you a lukewarm before? Well, it depends on what you mean by lukewarm. I was agnostic. Then I came to believe in the universe, like, which doesn't even make logical sense, even though I was a rational thinker, which is cool. But I came to believe in the universe, and then I went into witchcraft and spirituality, and eventually through that I came to Jesus. That's like the very bare bones basics. I have to repeat that so often now, but it's... it is a good thing to repeat. It's just like, wow, I'm getting asked my testimony so often. I mean, the more you say it, the more you remember stuff. Nah, did Jesus save you, bro? Of course. Why is that a... Well, I know why that's a question. Many people, yeah. But, yes, Jesus did save me. Why do you ask? Nah, Jesus did save you. Okay, no, you're not asking. I read that wrong. Wait. Nah, Jesus did save you, bro. I'm a bit confused then, because that's a statement. Like, yes. No, I said did save you, not did he save you. Yeah, I got it right, but now I'm a bit confused. Because, like, yes, he did save me, but what did I say that make you say no, Jesus saved me? Did I read Mark 10:18? Oh boy, here we go. I'm trying to invite you to the game. It won't let me. See if you can join me now that I've added you. I don't even know if they're still here. Here we go. Always love when people bring out Bible verses because I know they have some point and most of the times it's not good. Oh boy, yep. Mark 10:18. Chapter 10, verse 18. Why do you call me good? Jesus answered. No one is good except for God alone. How is this still an argument? Oh, what's up? Hello. I'm saying you were into witchcraft and then he saved you. Yes, exactly. You got it mixed up, so I was telling you what I said. Romans 10:9. Okay, we got a lot of Romans 10:9. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Yes, okay, this one's a good one. Romans chapter 10, verse 9. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Exactly. Yeah, for the Mark thing, it's pretty obvious that Jesus was telling the Pharisees 24/7 that he was from God. He was saying it in ways that the Jewish people would understand, but in ways that they could not crucify him for, which they still did anyways, because he eventually was just like, yep, I'm the guy, and they took him. And it was out of jealousy and envy, which is crazy. You know it's God, and yet you're still killing him out of jealousy, but whatever. I guess human standards matter more. But Jesus was obviously telling these Pharisees, I am the Lord. Before Abraham, I was. I am the law of Moses. I have come to fulfill the law. He says all these things, pointing to the obvious fact that he is God. So the argument that Jesus never said he was God is wrong. The argument that Jesus, again, never said he was God is wrong for another reason. Jesus accepted worship. He allowed people to worship him. You literally have people like Peter saying, you are the Christ, and he says, for God alone has revealed this to you. We have multiple verses stating that Jesus is Lord. I have went down this rabbit hole because I've heard this so often at this point that I needed a rebuttal because I'm tired of hearing this same argument over and over. Jesus is Lord, he is God, and he makes it very apparent to those who have eyes to see and ears to listen. Boom. I ran out of breath. You are good, but God is the only thing truly good. And if we're going to talk about that, Jesus is on earth, he's in a humanly body, he has to eat, he has to drink, he has to do whatever. So obviously we would say that's a limitation. Though God can still do godly things, it's not an ultimate limitation, obviously. But it is a limitation in the terms that he has the flesh. He feels sin. He has temptation. The devil literally appears to him. So obviously the Father would be greater in that moment, because Jesus is limited to the flesh. If we're going to bring up that verse alone. He is God and good, isn't he? Yes, he is. But good means perfection. By the way, just to remind you of that. Well, I said they were Jewish, and they're like, no, I'm not Jewish. So, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I can help you. We got this. Get away, Yippee. Yeah. You can take that back and sell it, if you want to. I'll check this room for more stuff. No, you can take the cart. You can take the cart. Also, he isn't God alone. Also, he's in human form. Yes. I'm gonna bring this back with you. Oh, you're bringing more stuff. Get away from me, Yippee. Oh, I broke it. Well. But yeah. But what do you believe in? I don't even know how to say your username. Yesil? I'm gonna hope that's correct. What do you believe in? Because you said you're not Jewish, but you're bringing up the Torah, and you're also bringing up the Quran, and you're also bringing up a ton of stuff. So what are your beliefs? Also, really good stream. We've actually had more people come in this time. Because I rightfully tagged the stream as Repo instead of Minecraft this time. Under game title, it's like, what are you playing? I was like, oh, I had this on Minecraft for all the other streams that I was not streaming Minecraft on. Stop! Stop saying yippee. It's not cool. See? He listened. That is the authority of Jesus. Anyways. Yeah, we have 5 people watching. That's pretty good. You're a Muslim. Okay. Well, I guess that makes more sense. How do I kill this guy? Very Christian sentence, but how do I kill this guy? How do I... How do I remove him from existence? This stupid little duck. Wait, I know how. I know how. Gotta get it out.
Wait.
Good question. I mean, they can answer. Hold on. I have something I can do. Can you hold the pot up for a second while I pick this thing up? I'm trying to get something out from under it. Okay, there we go. You can put that teapot back in there. We're gonna do teamwork here. I need the duck to come over here. Okay, I'm gonna take the duck from you. Okay. Get a little bit of a distance. I think that's good. Okay, that's good. Yay! Duck gone. We got rid of the duck. But yeah, answer Christo's question. Did you ever participate in that? Or did they leave? I don't know. What's some other topics we can get into while we wait, though? Because this has been really good topics, though. Kind of carrying the stream just a little bit. Wait, stream can't hear him. Why? We for real? Oh, I have it muted. My bad. Wait, then why did someone say, why can we hear him? Or did they mean can't? Okay, well, that's really dumb. All those questions, just worthless. But, I mean, we still get good conversations. At least we got my side, I guess. But now they can hear you. I don't know why Discord was muted. That's really dumb.
Let's go.
Clash. Hope you're doing well. I guess you're gonna have to ask the question again now that I've unmuted you.
Dude, you know what? I was actually a sign from God. You know what? Come on.
What do you mean?
That's what a great grace that I say, because just like we were talking about with the Proverbs, like the fool always has an answer. So God gave me the grace to be effectively shut up. Yeah, I'm not being canceled. Exactly. So you know what? I'm just going to kick my feet back and shut my mouth.
Oh, okay. What is REPO available on? It's on PC. I think that's it, though. It's $7 right now on Steam. Oh, wow, there's a lot of stuff up here. I just hit the cash on the floor. Whoops. But yeah, it's available on Steam, on PC. What do you say about the Quran predicting the victory of whoever against whoever? What do we want to say about all the prophecies that Jesus fulfilled through his life? About all the prophecies that the Bible has gotten correct? What do we want to say about all those? It's more than just one. I think it's a Steam exclusive, yeah. I mean, it's on PC, but it's best to get it through Steam. I don't think it's on other platforms. It might be, though, but I could be wrong. Yeah, we can go for a lot of different prophecies, per se. I haven't looked into prophecy myself. That's something I do want to look into. What do you mean, the prophets that the Bible got corrected? Oh boy. Are we going to say the Bible's corrupted? But then you're not going to say it's corrupted on topics you like? Oh, the Bible's not corrupted, but when Jesus says he isn't God, when he calls himself not good, that's not that's fine. Just cherry pick Bible verses you like and then say the rest are corrupted. It's a very easy strategy. Very easy strategy. I'm a console. Steam Cube. Yeah, Steam Cube would be really cool once it comes out. It's not out yet. Depending on its specs, I might even buy one myself. It's a very good mix between a console and a computer. Would suggest getting it, but I'd wait. I suggest it, but wait for the specs and price to come out, and then ask me again, and I'll tell you. Why am I frozen? It's moving on the mini-map instead of you. Are you for real? Where are you at? Oh, boy. I saved you. A guy had grabbed you. It was invisible guy. Saved you though. It's okay. But yeah, I don't know if it's releasing on console. It might actually be out on console, but I don't think it's cross-platform even if it is. What do you mean prophets are the same? Oh boy! No! Prophets are the same. In the Quran? How much does the Quran share with the Bible? Sorry, I'm not explaining well. My camera's frozen. Oh, they just killed you then. Leave the game and rejoin then. Just close down the game and rejoin me. Yep, he's gone. Okay. Yeah, how much does the Quran share with the Bible? Like, realistically. Oh, you're just attacking my cart. No!
If I may.
My stuff!
If I may, in wisdom and prayerfully and hesitantly, with the approval of God, may ask this one question. We're talking about prophecies and specifically Islam and the church and everything. Just one prophecy we could focus on is that the gates of hell will never prevail over the church. That has, despite Napoleon trying to destroy the church,
The Romans.
or the Romans, everyone throughout 2,000 years trying to destroy the church, it's always succeeded. And with that being said, the only continuation I want to add to that is that out of all religions, including between Christianity and Islam, the only church that was ever or assembly that was ever started by God Himself was Christianity. That's the only claim, the only religion that ever has that claim, which I think is at least interesting. It's at least interesting to consider.
Do you know? Like, I don't know if you've looked into Islam. I know you've looked into it some because you've talked about it. But do you know how much of, like, the prophecies or prophets or whatever they, like, the words, how much of that translates between the two books? Also, if we're going
I'm
to say
not
those
certain.
words translate exactly, then we're going to say, oh, but the Bible's corrupted. But the Quran has the exact same words the Bible does. That'd be kind of a dumb argument, no?
Well, I believe that the Muslims say that the forget what it was. I think it's the Torah and Injil, and basically it's the Old New Testament. The Old Testament is not corrupt. The New Testament is corrupt in their apologetics.
Okay, but even so, just to, I guess, bring this up, I guess, is we're gonna assume that the Quran isn't corrupted when it definitely has been? Of course, I don't know the sources on that, but not a truth claim or anything, but I'm pretty sure that there's evidence suggesting the Quran has been corrupted. Then Quran says also the Bible is true, and then the Quran says Jesus is a prophet, but we don't listen to the Bible of what Jesus said because that was corrupt. It's just a whole thing. Of course, I'm not really the person to, like, talk to Muslims. That's not really, my conversation or topic, really, that I feel I should talk about. But why is that chiming? But it is still something I can bring up in that regard. I just don't want to talk about the rest that comes along with Islam.
Yeah.
Doesn't Islam also hold to the fact that the Council of Nicaea corrupted the Bible?
Really?
I'm pretty I know a lot of people talk about the Council of Nicaea where Jesus' godhood was fabricated. I know atheists talk about it. I don't know if the Muslims hold to the same belief.
That's crazy.
So, Yesil, you can actually tell me since you're here. Since you are here, when was it corrupted? I don't have the sources. I can't give you anything. I can look into it later and give you something to look back on, but right now I don't have sources. How's it corrupted? Blake Richard, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Bible. I don't know what the Muslims say on how the Bible's corrupted. I have to ask them once again. But they're here. Can I repeat the question, please? Swear to God Gaming, what did I ask? I forgot. I have bad memory.
Honestly, several things.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
I was asking something specifically to them. Let me remember. was something about Jesus, I think. Dang it. Does anybody in chat?
Well, I know we were talking about. We were talking about prophecies beforehand. I know we were talking about that.
Yeah, my brain blanked. So the reason we think that the Quran is not corrupted and the others is simple. Oh wait, the Council of Nicaea. Do you believe that the Council of Nicaea is what invented Jesus' godliness or godhood? That's what I'm asking. Because I know atheists hold to that. I don't know where the belief came from. I believe Muslims hold to it, but I could be incorrect. Brick Thoughts, thank you for trying to help. Yeah, what corrupted the Bible too? Those are both things. I don't know about the Nicaea thing, but shouldn't you know if you're gonna say that the Bible's corrupted? Dang, I'm gonna have to ask someone else then. Or I can just look it up. And if that's the reason they think the Bible's corrupted, well, if it's not the Nicaea thing, do you know why you think the Bible's corrupted? If it's not that, or do you just not know at all? Welcome in, Dark. Hope you're doing well. Look into the Moses story. He went away for a second. They started worshiping a calf. They didn't believe in him much. Why are we talking about Moses? How did we get here? And if we're saying, oh, well, they didn't believe in Jesus much because they worship a calf, that's Old Testament. I don't know what we're talking about. Look into Jesus' story. Only 12 disciples believed him. 1 betrayed him. Not many believed him. But that's untrue considering we have multiple historical accounts saying that Jesus did these things, did these miracles, etc., etc. We have a lot of things. Josephus. We have church fathers, too. We have a lot of historical evidence that Jesus existed. And
there were many more people that believed in him than just the 12 disciples.
Isn't it? I forgot his name. The one that killed the Christians, like, before he converted. I keep forgetting his name. I'm gonna have to remember this, like, memorize it. Yeah, Paul. Paul literally wrote to multiple different churches who believed in Jesus Christ. He was a Christian, so why are we saying no one believed in Jesus? How would the church exist if no one believed in Jesus?
I think he's talking about like during his ministry while he was alive. But even then, I mean, he spent every day. I mean,
people walked up to
the
him and
whole
said, "Can I
day
follow
ministering to
you?"
people. Exactly. Yeah. Like there's many people who believed in him.
He had
Even if it was a
5,000 listening
minority
to
of them.
him. That's where one of the miracles came from.
Yeah, there were several contemporary to his ministry. I believed in him more than just the 12. And actually, even during the 40 days of the resurrection, he appeared to more than just his 12 disciples. Like the women obviously were not disciples, so that they count as well. And of course, his mother, father.
I mean,
Well,
Paul says he
father.
appeared to 500 plus people. We don't have historical evidence, but if Paul said it, I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a great point. So yeah, he had many believers during his ministry.
Also, writing stuff down back then was really expensive, yet we have whole writings, and it was really hard to do as well. Do you believe it's okay to cuss as a Christian? Because I was here from Catholics. Paul did it, so what's wrong? I'm non-denominational. I feel like Glory to God Gaming can probably give insight here.
So, so Paul 4? I'm unfamiliar with this.
I've never heard of it either, but
my personal view, of swearing is it's. There's many ways you can go about it, but I think that it's a self-discipline kind of thing. Like if you can choose not to, and you can kind of do this this practice of going without, then I think that it strengthens your spirit because you're choosing something over another. And that's just one way of going about it, or one way of looking at that.
Blake Richard said he had many followers, he just chose 12 disciples. Yes. Yesil said, look into Muhammad's story. A whole country was formed. A whole country with a good population believed in him. feel like there's a lot of ways
Well,
I could go with a rebuttal there. Trying to think of one that would make the most sense. I got a yippee in my cart.
what's wrong with Jesus choosing 12 disciples? I mean, it also mirrors the 12 tribes of Israel.
Also, Christians were under way more persecution, to my knowledge. Christians couldn't be a whole nation because people would have slaughtered the whole nation. They would have just killed them. I don't think Islam went through the same persecution. There might have been some degree. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to just spew nonsense. But Christians literally lived in caves. They dug out whole mountains just so they could protect themselves and read the Bible without Romans killing them, without nations killing them, without all these other things. There was a whole nation of Christians for sure. They were underground though.
If I may make one Christian correction,
Okay.
it wasn't so that they could read the Bible, so that they can celebrate the Eucharist. It was like literally like that was that was
Christ,
the book,
to my knowledge.
What'd you say?
Because to my knowledge, it was like to read the Bible, to do all the Christian stuff, pretty much. Like
the Bible didn't exist, so there was no Bible to read.
I'm pretty sure
it was literally like.
I'm pretty sure
the Old Testament. The Old Testament scriptures exist, but literally, like in the Book of Acts, the Gospels hasn't been written yet, and none of the epistles, like the entire New Testament, has not been written yet at the time of Book of Acts. Like after like days after Pentecost, they didn't have any New Testament, so they would just be
in the what's it called? Brick, you can join. They weren't allowed in the synagogue, so they wouldn't have had a way to read the Old Testament. So.
Yes, true. Yeah, but so and actually that continues to serve the point that what they did as Christians, like just like it says in the Book of Acts, they broke bread. Like they just like so it's just like the Last Supper, the Thanksgiving meal, the Eucharist. Like that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. And St. Paul records that 20 years later in his First Corinthians. I think about 25 years later, he talks about how he inherited the tradition of the Christians, which was to partake in this feast of the body and blood of Christ. And the doctrine of the real presence it was so far evolved to St. Paul at that, like 20, 30 years later, that he says not to even receive it unworthily, lest you bring condemnation unto yourself. So it was a sacred and holy thing already within a couple decades of the crucifixion and resurrection.
Okay, they have a lot of stuff. Okay, Brick Thoughts said, I have a question. If Muhammad was a holy prophet of Allah, why did he conquer and command armies? Yassil said, to spread the religion, he didn't kill captives, and also in early times the polytheists were brutes against Muslims, and they broke the treaty. David is a prophet of God, he took place in the war. Elijah had the prophets of Baal killed. I don't really know what to say here. My mind just blanked, to be honest. I'm gonna answer the other thing and come back to that. I know there's one... This one's out of context, but what do you think the hardest, most complex game is? Ooh. Most complex? Probably gonna be GTA 6. Hardest? One of those rage games. Gotta be. Probably like only up, getting over it. Chess? Ooh, chess. Yeah, chess. You got it. That's a simple answer too, and I just completely missed it. Also, what do you think of people having spiritual fathers? What do you mean? Like,
as in Catholics?
Yeah, that's...
As in the holy priesthood? I'm curious.
I do play chess, yes. Not very often, but I do. I feel like they could have an argument, though, if they bring up the Crusades. Because, like, if we're gonna say, why did Muhammad command armies? You could also say the same thing for Crusades. And you could say that's persecution. I don't know much about the Crusades, though. I have very little knowledge on Crusades. Islam is not a violent religion. It forbids killing people. Okay. How come some killer terrorists who call themselves Muslims be the representation of Islam? I'm pretty sure there's verses that allow it, though, no? I mean, me and
Yeah, these.
Finger showed me
I
some of
assume.
them.
Yeah. So I don't know if the other person is a Christian who's doing the like who's going against the Islam or going against Islam, but everything that they say against Islam right now, they can say like the Muslims can turn against Christianity. Well,
Yeah.
if this person's so-called Christian, then why how come they are X, Y, and Z, right? Like just because you have bad apples participating in the faith does not make the faith go rotten. Not to say I'm a Muslim, but obviously
Yeah,
I'm
not to, like,
just trying
play
to
the devil's advocate or anything, but you could
yeah.
turn a lot of
It's
that
just I know
around.
that these.
What is
Yeah,
this?
these things will turn back on us real fast if we keep saying them.
Um, so yeah, there are ways that they can turn that stuff around. I'm surprised we've gotten so far. This is crazy. I'm usually dead by now.
Oh, the stream's usually dead. Oh, the game.
Yeah, the game. Stream
Hmm,
too, to be honest. Usually it winds down after a little bit. What was that?
hmm.
Okay.
I'm curious what they thought about the swearing thing.
Yeah, they're still here. They asked about what do we think about spiritual fathers, but they haven't responded.
Hmm.
Ton of topics today, though. Going over everything.
I guess I'll address the father thing real quick. I believe it still is in First Corinthians. Saint Paul specifically writes to his like those reading, and he says that he has to give his spiritual wisdom to them like milk. Like basically, what he has is like meat, but he has to feed them like children, as though he's going to give them milk, like his children, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that make him? Father. And of course, him being one of the or him being an apostle, of which that is the office of what the priests are. They are in the holy orders of being succeeding the apostles themselves. So yeah, that's he literally basically he infers himself to be a spiritual father in the Holy Scriptures. That's just one example.
Do I play chess? Yes, I do. Also, when killing, you're forgetting to go too far. What is that? Oh, it's that one. Like torturing and stuff. And also, in the same verse, persecution is a bigger sin than killing.
So here's my thing. What keeps you from being Christian? Because there's so much beautiful stuff in Islam, like being dedicated to prayer. Obviously, the architecture and the arts, the imagery, um, the culture, the theology is deep. I mean, like there's so much to it. What keeps you specifically from being Catholic? Like, what keeps you from being Catholic
You're
to
asking
the
me again?
Muslim?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that I can bring up is I was bringing up the Council of Nicaea just to bring up a new verse from, not verse, new findings. Not new, but they're old, but they're new old findings from, what's it called? Wes Huff. He was doing a thing on the Council of Nicaea about how everyone says, oh, well, Jesus' godhood was formulated in the Council of Nicaea and he was made God there. Oh, I thought you were up here. But they actually found that even before that, Jesus was referred to as God by many people many years before that. And Nicaea was it wasn't even that old. It wasn't even too far in. And there was people before that even referring to Jesus as God in their own houses, in their own prayer places,
Mhm.
in their own caves where they were, as you said, taking communion and doing Christian things. Christian things.
Amen.
So Jesus' godhood was not fabricated within that council meeting. I don't even think Nicaea was the one where they formulated the Bible. I think they found that out too. I think that was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a progressive process.
yeah. Oh. So yeah, that's a whole thing. So Jesus' godhood was not fabricated. People knew back then. They were just underground. if you were to read Quran 31 through 4, you would know. Can you post it in English? I don't really want to be looking up Quran verses right now. No, like my apostle
What?
at my church has a spiritual father on earth and has a spiritual father, God in heaven, and some people at our church call him Dad. That's what they
Wait,
meant by spiritual father. I'm a bit confused.
so they call him now? That's so. What kind of church is it? Like, if it's not,
They said they're
if it's not,
non-denominational.
it, okay. Why not Catholicism? That's what I don't get. Like, if you're already calling somebody in your church within leadership, literally dad or father, I don't know. To me, it seems like it's a good fit.
Seems very Catholic to me.
Can't see. It's especially Catholic to me. I don't know.
Um, they said Matthew chapter 23, verse 9 basically says, do not call anybody on earth father or dad, for there's only one father in heaven, which is God. I actually want to hear
Yes.
your explanation of that.
So, and it's been a while since I've done apologetics, so it'll take me. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'm a little
of course.
rusty. But basically, from what I understand, that verse is not talking about like you literally can't call your own dad, dad. You know, it's from what I understand, it's basically saying don't put anyone before God. Like, don't put anyone in God's place.
For you only have one spiritual father, and that is God.
Hmm.
Um,
And also, too, the priesthood. That's another important aspect. The priesthood in the Catholic Church is what's called in Latin persona Christi, which means in the person of Christ. And there's a whole lot of theology that goes around that. But basically, when they so another thing that people talk about is confession. Like, oh, well, how can a priest tell me that I'm forgiven my sins? Only God can do that. It's not the man doing that. It's through that man, as instituted by God, that he is administering to you these graces. So you're still not really calling Father Dale Father in that sense. You're still giving reverence to God through the man.
that's interesting. Okay.
Mhm. And one more thing I want to add on that too is that the concept of seeing Christ in other men, not literally men, obviously men and women, but that's biblical language. To see Christ in other people is in serving the passage about serving the least of these. Like, if you didn't clothe me, you didn't clothe me when I was naked, and you didn't feed me, or you didn't visit me when I was in prison. And I think they
And
were like,
those people
but
are
you were
the
never in
least as
prison.
servants.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And yeah, serving them as though they were Christ themselves. So yeah, seeing like the Lord coming through people is well documented in the Scripture, in the New Testament, and the Gospels.
Sounds pretty biblical to me.
Amen. Yeah, I'm all
Okay,
about Sorry, go ahead.
Yeso's talking about something. You can say your thing first, because I don't know what's going on.
No, never mind. You go first.
Uh, a leaf, lamb, meme, the Byzantines, Romans have been defeated in their nearest land, but they, after defeat, will overcome within 3 to 9 years. To Allah belongs the command before and after. Yeah, yes, so they asked. Oh, I broke that. They asked, why are you not Catholic? Why are you Muslim? Like,
Yeah, like why do you remain? Like, what keeps you from being because another thing about that too is that, like, Islam is very basically what we would call high church. It's very religious, very ritualistic, very very there's a lot of basically, yeah, like religious stuff to it. So I think that you'd be very at home in the Catholic Church.
you're gonna go, Blake Richard? All good. God bless you and your family. I hope you stay in good health.
God bless.
Okay, I'm telling you, what did you not understand from that verse? Oh,
Is
well,
that why?
you
So is
you posted a
that
verse.
Quran 30? Is that Quran 30 something? 1 through 4?
Yeah, you'll probably have to look it up since I'd rather just conversate and play game.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? Quran 1? What is it?
They're Quran 30, 1 through 5, and Surah Ar-Rum 1 through 5. They just sent a lot of stuff. You'll have to read through the
Let's
chat.
see.
Oh no.
So the Romans have been defeated in a nearby land. Yet, following their defeat, they will triumph.
Ah.
3 to 9. Oh, okay. The whole
Ah.
matter rests with Allah before their victory and on. Wait, what? So is this saying that the Romans? So the Romans will triumph within 3 to 9 years.
So we're saying that prophecy? Also, the Romans did not triumph. They died. Like, not to be bleak or dark, but they're dead.
Well, the Roman Empire continued. It definitely continued.
Well, yeah, but they also... depends what you mean by triumph, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is like. So he's saying this is why he's not Catholic, that Rome was defeated and then
Oh, it's
Allah.
saying that you're Roman Catholic. So... Oh...
Yeah.
But then they're saying that Rome raised and survived, which Roman Catholic would be
Yeah.
Rome, so then that would be reason for the Catholic Church, not against.
Yeah. So the whole matter rests with Allah before and after victory, and on that day the believers will rejoice at the victory willed by Allah. And he gives victory to whoever he wills, for he is the Almighty, most merciful. I'm confused. Like I'm not trying to be fun. I'm not sure
I
exactly.
feel like that'd be evidence, no, that Romans triumphed.
So I think what this is saying is that the Romans, like, so they were defeated by
Or we're saying that
Muslims.
because that's prophecy from the Muslims, that's
Yeah.
for Muslim...
I think this is saying that Allah only allows Roman Catholic Church to continue to exist because he's most merciful. I think that's what this is saying. Like a submission thing, like I allowed you to live, kind of thing.
Not Roman Empire, Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine. So the verse makes a prediction that Byzantine will have... What am I stuck on? Oh.
So Constantinople?
That Byzantine will have victory in 3 to 9 years, and they did have victory even though they were losing. Wow, well, no, I don't want to be condescending, my bad. Sorry. But one prophecy does not attribute Allah to being true. You can get one prophecy right if you make 1,000,000.
Also, I mean, yeah, this doesn't take away from the faith at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't understand how this is a bad thing to where this is why you're not Catholic, is that Allah, God, the God of Abraham, allowed for the Roman Catholic Church in both Rome and Constantinople to thrive.
It literally talked about the future, but yeah, you can get one right prophecy if you get 1,000,000 prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
How many prophecies were made that are correct, and how many are false? And how many were made to begin with?
And this goes back to what I was saying too about Jesus' prophecy that the gates of hell will never prevail over the church. Like that's so.
And then Jesus
If I'm
fulfilled,
looking at the
like,
Quran,
hundreds of prophecies, so...
that's just one, and we know and the Quran here is affirming that being the case. So, yeah, I don't see how this is a. Yeah, I don't get it.
It literally talked about the future. Yeah, but they also gave a time frame. They didn't say, oh, it's going to win within 3 years. No, it's going to be 3 through 9. Why are you giving a time frame if you know?
It takes name reference to Romans in verse 2.
Though I do not know if God has ever made a time frame for something happening in the Bible. I'm not going to, like, knock it, but, like, I just don't understand why are you giving a time frame if you know when it's going to happen? If you know they're going to win. At least in my... Behind you, behind you, behind you! None are false. And just
Okay,
listen, the prediction worked when Muhammad was still alive. If he were to get it the wrong way, they would kill Muhammad. Well, if you're saying Rome in general, they still fell. I mean, they did have victory in that
wait.
one battle, though. But
So the footnote here says that 8 years later, the Romans won a decisive battle against the Persians, reportedly on the same day of the Muslims vanquished the Meccan army at the Battle of Badr.
so the Muslims helped.
Um, so basically, he's saying that yeah, the prophecy came to pass. That's good, cool. That's Rome still still won. I don't yeah, but that's at the end. Like that's cool that the prophecy came
But
through. I
also, if we're
mean,
gonna say a prophecy about God's people, where God's people's gonna win within a time frame, not
yeah,
even an exact date, or like 1 year, they're gonna win within 1 year. Like, I don't get it.
I'll accept the fact that it's a because at least I mean this could have been written. I don't know when this was written, but if it was written before, then it would have been prophetic in the sense that it came to pass. Sure, but I don't understand how this is because the same God would have allowed it to be like so. Allah would have allowed it to happen, and
And then we send Muslim people to guarantee that this is the outcome that happens. Unless I'm misunderstanding that part.
yeah. And I'm no Quran expert. I'm just if I in asking why you're not Catholic, this is
Imagine being able to make a spinning wheel land on 6 every time, and you say, I bet that this wheel's gonna land on 6 when I spin it. And then it lands on 6.
mm.
That's not really prophecy if you rig the outcome. You didn't
And
even
also
read it
from where we're
properly.
standing, God can use all things for His glory. So He can use uh uh well, I mean Judas even right. Like he obviously he like people who were against him as a part of His plan for salvation. So yeah, he most certainly could have a prophecy could come to pass even from the mouth of a pagan. Like that doesn't necessarily make paganism true. Well, does not make paganism. It just means that God is sovereign, just like the language says here, the Almighty, most merciful. And Allah just means God too. So like, I'm not saying the Muslim God. I'm saying literally just God.
How can he rig
Interesting though.
something? I mean, if Muhammad's like, okay, we're gonna win this battle. God said so. And then I send 1 million people to this battle to win this battle. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but there's a lot of explanations for why that one could have came true. Of course, you also gave a time frame. The only way that was wrong is if they lost. Which, we're talking about God's people as well. If you know that those are really God's people and you're like, oh, God's people are gonna prevail. Like, wow. Good prophecy.
So here's my question. I want to ask a Muslim, like, so I want to ask them, why did I know you could just say you don't know, it's mystery. That's perfectly fine. But like, why did Allah allow this in your theology to come to pass?
Yeah, why would he want people that are against him to win? Well, not against him, but don't necessarily agree. And they're gonna create their own church that's gonna take people away from Islam. There's a thing called false prophets. Even if they say it was gonna happen, did happen, doesn't make them a prophet. Yes. So, again, do we have how many prophets of Muhammad's came true? Like, realistically.
Another thing about this too is that Muhammad didn't write the Quran at all. I
Wasn't
don't
he
think he wrote
illiterate?
anything. It was literate. Yeah. So like, these aren't his. Uh, these aren't his writings. So I don't know. I don't know exactly who wrote them, but um, yeah,
Yeah, we can grab whatever else. Grab what you want.
it's interesting.
It's not prophecy, it's prediction. Yeah, makes... We're putting a lot of words into like this, but there's just a lot of different possibilities. There's a lot of reasons. Ultimately, it doesn't make them a prophet. It just makes them someone that got something right one time. And if there's more, then maybe there's more merit. But I don't know how many quote-unquote prophecies he got. How many are true or not? Oh wow, you found it. Okay.
Yeah, so far we're still 1-1. I mean, yeah. So if the Quran got this one right, okay. Well, what about the church never failing
Crouch.
ever in 2,000 years?
Crouch.
That prophecy most certainly is still correct.
Muhammad couldn't even read. Why are you? I mean, yeah. I mean, I get why you would agree, but like, that goes against what you're saying. Church never failing. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean the gates of hell will never prevail. So obviously the Gnostics they went away, like the heretics they went away. The Arians they don't exist anymore. You know, like all these different even other religions. They all like there's no dynastic Egyptian pagan religion anymore. It just doesn't exist anymore. So, but out of 2,000 years, there's not been one day where their Christians didn't exist. There was not one lapse in Christianity for 2,000 years. Period. The gates of hell never prevailed over the church. Matthew 16, if you want to read it. Matthew
Game upgrade?
chapter 16.
Oh, it is working. Okay. They said, I don't know. Also, Allah didn't heal the sick, nor made the blind eyes see. What did Muhammad do? Like, genuinely, as a